Hi everyone, welcome. It's Lena Nasserdeen, the CEO and founder of Rise Up For You, and welcome to Rise Up For You TV. Today I'm going to be talking about time maximization specifically for leaders. As you know, as a leader, there are a multitude of things to do day in and day out, and today that's going to be our topic, and I'm going to share with you 4 strategies to help you be your best in this new year. Now, just a little bit about us. My team and I have worked with hundreds of companies and thousands of leaders around the world, supporting company culture and leadership. In the last year alone, we've worked with thousands of leaders in over 14 industries, everything from pharmaceuticals, healthcare, food manufacturing, big tech, you name it. We have worked with leaders in over 50 countries to help support them grow their organization, grow their performance, and really engage their team. Now, in the last year, the 4 things that we heard that were the top challenges for organizations, today I'm going to talk about just one of them, and I'm going to be doing a series of videos on this topic, which is leadership succession planning. So how do we make sure that our pipeline of leaders is actually being built? Now, when we get to the core of this, and when we ask leaders why they have a hard time building that next level of leaders, very rarely do we hear, because I just don't want to coach my team, or because I'm not interested in mentoring and building that pipeline. Typically, we hear all about time. I don't have the time to work with my team. I don't have the time to coach my team. I don't have the time to mentor my team. And so in this series of videos, this first video is all about making the time so that we can start building that pipeline of leaders that's going to help support and scale your organization. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. I took a couple notes here because, again, my team and I have worked with leaders and organizations around the world. We collect a ton of data. So I want to make sure that I'm throwing great information at you that we actually use on a day-to-day basis with our team here at Rise Up For You. So I'm going to share with you 4 tips to help you this year. Tip number 1. Okay, so most leaders, when they are looking at building and growing their team, they struggle because they don't have enough time for themselves, right? And so it always goes back to, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. Now, how many of you, I've done this before, have ever been in a situation where you have your team members that are constantly coming into your office, asking you a ton of questions, and so you feel very overwhelmed, and at the end of the week, you ask yourself, what did I get done? Right? Where did my time go? So in order for you to free up time to start prioritizing the things that are really important, we need to create step number 1, what we call an open door policy. Now, whether you're working virtually or whether you're working on site in the office, the truth of the matter is, as a leader, you're wearing a multitude of hats, right? So not only do you have to lead, navigate, support your team, but you also have your own job to do, whatever that job is. So there's gotta be moments where you can just focus and hone in on your craft and your day-to-day things that you need to do, as well as moments that you're with your team. That means we have to create what we call the B word. I know I'm gonna say it, boundaries. As a leader, we need to create boundaries so that you can free up more of your time. So a simple open door policy is that we need to teach our team members how to access you. So instead of having access to you all the time, every day, let's create some boundaries that are open door policy, whether it's virtually or on site, that tell your team that you are open for them to come and ask questions or to seek any counsel that they need. Now, of course, if there's an emergency, that's a different story. These are all things that you're going to want to identify as a leader. You're going to want to share with your team about the open door policy, when they can access with you, how to come prepared, and what entails an emergency. So if there is an emergency, there's a clear understanding of what that is, and your team has the right to interrupt you or come and disrupt you outside of that open door policy if it's an emergency. If it's not an emergency, then you're going to want to teach your team to access you during the open door policy time, where they can come in prepared with their notes and ask you all the questions at the same time, right? How many of you have ever had that team member that all day long is just asking you random questions versus prepping their questions, getting everything that they need to ask you all organized, and then coming at one time and asking you all at one time, right? We want to teach our team to do that. So step number 1, building that open door policy to free up more time for you and also being efficient with your team. Step number 2, So for those of you that follow the Rise Up For You podcast, if you don't, head over to any podcast channel. We have over 600 episodes. We're interviewing amazing leaders from around the world. But more recently, I interviewed Gino Wickman. Some of you are familiar with the Entrepreneurial Operating System, EOS. Gino Wickman and I, we had an incredible conversation. And one of the things that we talked about is understanding where your time as a leader is going. So oftentimes as leaders, we don't really know where our time is going. So Gino said something on the podcast, and again, I encourage you to check it out. And he said, you need to start understanding how much of your work is $25 work versus the $100, the $200, $300 work that you're actually getting paid to do. Now, I am the CEO and owner of Rise Up For You, and that also resonated with me as well. Asking myself, how much of the work am I doing is $25 or $30 work versus the work that a CEO or the founder of a company should be doing? And so I want to share with you the strategy called Do It, Dump It, Delegate It. So what I want you to do as a leader is the first thing is I want you to do a time assessment. I want you to go through an entire week and I want you to dictate where is your time going, okay? Is it going towards, 10% are going towards meetings, 30% are going towards you in the trenches, 40%, whatever it is, I want you to dictate where your time is going. Then based off of where your time is going and what you're doing on a weekly basis, I want you to start to categorize the do it, the dump it, and the delegate it. Now, some of you might be familiar with the Eisenhower matrix. It's a similar concept. So the first thing we want to do is ask ourselves, the time that I'm using and what I'm doing as a leader, what do I absolutely have to do? Nobody else in the company can do it. It's my job. I'm the only one with the expertise. I'm the one that has to do it. And I want you to write that down. Then the next thing I want you to ask yourself is, what can I dump altogether? What are the things that I'm doing currently, but even if I pass it on to somebody else, it's not really adding a lot of value to the organization or to the scalability or to the department as a whole. And I want you to put that in the dump it category, meaning get rid of it altogether. And then the third category is the delegate category. What are the things that I'm currently doing that are important, we still need to keep, but I don't necessarily have to do it, right? I can pass it on to a team member. I can elevate my team member by passing on some of these tasks. So step number 2 is do it, dump it, delegate it. And you're going to want to start by doing a time assessment first. Step number 3, it's my favorite, I have to admit, and that is planning out your week ahead of time. Making space in your life, whether it's 30 minutes to an hour, grab yourself a planner. I have weekly planners that I use all the time, and it's like the most amazing, it's a game changer for me. Because what happens is I plan my entire week. I also set policies and boundaries with my team that once my planner is set and ready to go, that there's nothing that's added to my calendar from a meeting perspective unless it's approved by me, it's an emergency, something high quality that I need to get into, right? So I plan my calendar usually on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday for that following week. And I put everything, the first thing I do is I put what's already on my calendar. So I'll go through and I'll say, okay, Monday, I have my LinkedIn Live, that's a non-negotiable, that goes in my calendar, 9:30. Then I go through 10 a.m., we have our core team meeting, and I go through the entire week and I put the things that are already fixed that have been on my calendar. Step number 2 is that I will go through and I will start to add me time. That's actually step number 2. So the things that are important for me are fitness, working out, making sure that I get my body and my movement going every single day so that I'm optimized for the work that I'm doing, so that I can be in front of the camera, so that I can talk to the leaders, so that I can go train and coach and serve to the best of my ability. So the second thing I do is once I have my fixed meetings on the books, I'll go through and I'll put a meeting with myself for fitness. That's the second thing I do. So I just got done working out, right? An hour and a half before I'm here with you, I just finished working out. So I'll put that on my calendar next. Then the third thing I'll do is I'll go through and I'll put the things that absolutely urgently have to be done. Then I'll go through and I'll look at the space that I have available. And this is the time that I use to support my team. This is the opportunities that you have to fill in to help start building your succession planning. Now, I will tell you that I know you might be listening to this and thinking, oh my gosh, I have to create a planner and build a calendar and but it will change your life. After about a month of doing this, you're not gonna be able to live without it. Now, when I wake up, all I do is I look at my planner and I'm like, all right, this is what I'm doing today. And just as a little extra tip, usually I keep Friday very flexible and very open because, as you know, things come up during the week. Sometimes you have to pivot, sometimes you have to adapt. And so Friday is that day that I usually spill things over. So if there's things that I didn't get done that I need to get done, I'll spill them over into Friday, or I use Friday as a creative day to continue to build, to continue to scale, to continue to understand how we can be the best here at Rise Up For You. So that was step number 3. And step number 4 is, again, probably one of the most important steps. Actually, I probably should have started with this step, but you know what? I saved the best for last. And that is a mindset reset around time. When you say that you are too busy or you don't have enough time, I want you to know that I personally don't know anybody that's not busy. Everyone is busy and everyone has the same 24 hours in the day. And the reality is that you have more time today than you did yesterday. And tomorrow or next year, you're gonna have more time than you did today. Why? Because we are continuing to advance as a society and a culture. More and more and more, we are getting things right at our fingertips. We have Instacart, we can order our groceries. We have Amazon, we can go buy things on demand. We have food that we can put in the microwave and warm up within 1 minute. Every day we're getting more and more advanced with things that are freeing up our time. So when we continue to say that we don't have enough time or that we're too busy, that's actually an excuse for you to take a really hard look at what is a priority for you, okay? And that's the key. So I really, really encourage you as a leader to reset the mindset around time and start to ask yourself, what's the priority? Now, as a leader, building that plan and that pipeline of next leaders needs to be a priority. And so versus saying, I don't have time, I want you to ask yourself, what is my list of priority and where can I put coaching and mentoring my team? I can guarantee you that the second you start switching your mindset around time, you're actually gonna have more time. You're gonna have more time than you realize, and it's gonna help support you in the future. Think about in the future being able to take a 2-week vacation because you made it a priority to coach and mentor your team. So now you have somebody that can actually take your spot. I'll be honest with you. The last week I have been out completely sick. I had strep throat. I'm better now, as you can see in here. But I was slated to do a multitude of trainings. I was slated to do 3 back-to-back full-hour days, 8-hour days of training. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 8 hours each day. And because I fell ill with strep throat, and as you know, strep throat has to do with your tonsils and with being able to speak, I couldn't talk, I couldn't eat food, I had a fever. But because I had taken the time to develop and grow my team and I realized how big of a priority it is, well, I should say that I learned how big of a priority it is, because when I first started my company, I had that, mindset of like, no one can do it better than me, right? Let's be honest, as leaders, sometimes we think that. But once I broke that mindset and I realized how important it is to build that next level of leaders, last week when I was ill, we were able to adapt. We were able to pull in new trainers, and we had other trainers go in my spot. We didn't skip a beat. All the clients were happy. Everything got done, and our service continued to be high quality without me. And that's a perfect example of why it's so important now to get ahead of the game when it comes to maximizing your time as a leader, setting yourself up for success, because there will be moments where you're gonna need that next team member to step in and take your spot, and you wanna make sure that you are ready. Thanks again for joining me. Again, my name is Lena Nasserdeen. I'm the CEO and founder of Rise Up For You. This is just the first video of succession planning when it comes to leaders. And I wanted to get the time aspect out of the way because, again, when we're working with leaders and we ask them about leading and mentoring their team and building that pipeline, the number one response we get is, I don't have the time. So in order for us to get to that next step in building that pipeline, I wanted to make sure we covered how to set yourself up for success, maximizing your time as a leader, ensuring that you've created steps and strategies so that you have open spots to actually have the capacity to give to your team. Again, Lena Nasserdeen here. Thank you so so much for joining me here on Rise Up For You TV. Before you go, a couple things. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us everywhere here on social media at Rise Up For You. Every single week, we are putting out new content on YouTube, strategies, tips, how-tos on how to elevate your team, your performance as a leader, and your organization as a whole, how to scale it and get it running like a well-oiled machine so that you can be your absolute best. And remember, your people are the ones behind that. So it's time to start putting your people first and understanding how you can elevate yours and their performance. Thing number 2 that I'm really excited about. If you are interested in learning how to support your team, don't forget to set up a call with me. You can just click the link below, set up a call. I'll hop on the call with you. It'll be me. We'll talk about how you can support your team. And lastly, I am so excited to let you know that I am launching another book here in just 2 weeks. It's all about emotional intelligence. So the book is Emotional Intelligence, The Path to Fulfillment, Influence, and Success. And it's going to be launching in 2 weeks. Every leader, every entrepreneur, you're going to want to get your hands on this. And I'm very excited about the book because it's not just a heavy read. It's 300 pages, I know, but it's not 300 pages of just reading. Actually, I would say about 15% of the book is reading and stories and experiences and case studies. And the other 85% of the book is actual practical strategies that you get to work through. So you're going to want to grab the book and you're going to want to grab a pencil because it's going to be something that you're going to read and work through simultaneously. Again, thanks for joining me. It's Lena Nasserdeen here with Rise Up For You, Rise Up For You TV, and I will see you next time.